And we continue here on Sunday Sports Extra. Welcome Jason Spells into the mix, coming off of Saturday night's coverage of the Pacers over at the Fieldhouse downtown. Big crowd down there, 17,000 plus, exciting atmosphere with the win against Charlotte. This team has really put together a good couple of weeks to start the season. A lot of buzz downtown with that game on Saturday. This team's really starting to kind of find itself. Yeah, you're right, Brad. There's a lot of buzz inside the field house and inside the locker room. The Pacers off to a 6-2 start. It's pretty incredible when you take a look at their schedule. Of course, they had that bad loss to Miami, but they did respond by beating the Boston Celtics. The first time that they ever defeated the Celtics in 4 seasons in Boston. That's a pretty long drought for this franchise. After last night's game, I had a chance to catch it with Paul George, one of the young faces of this Pacer bunch, talk about the future and how they're enjoying the season so far.
Seems like this team's having fun, sharing the ball. Everyone's really getting into it. What is it about this team that you guys are smiling and you're winning?
I mean, we all just enjoy each other. This was a well put together team, you know, from head to bottom. You know, everybody enjoys each other's company, and you know, it's fun. You know, everybody's, for the most part, this is the same age, you know, kind of bracket. You know, we got some differentials with Jeff and myself, but all around the board, I mean, everybody's just close. You know, so it's fun out there.
You look at the 2 losses that you all suffered. That Miami loss, the team didn't let that slow them down going into Boston. What did Coach Vogel tell you guys when you were leaving Miami heading up north? I mean, it's a long season. Every good team has, you know, that night where things just aren't clicking, and you know, it just so happens it was against a great team as Miami. You know, so we couldn't hang our heads on one loss. You know, we have a lot to look forward to, you know, so we kept ourselves positive. The grind of this season, I mean, you played a game last night, you're here tonight, you're getting back on a plane. It's a shortened season. How do you all stay refreshed physically and mentally going forward?
Just taking care of yourself, you know, taking care of our bodies, getting enough amount of sleep, make sure we lifting. You know, just all the little things, you know, that can add up later down the line, you know, when we get to the playoffs. And, you know, we got some nicks and stuff start hurting on us. So we can take care of our bodies now. We can prevent all of that in the long run.
Touching on the playoffs, last time I saw a crowd as loud as tonight was the playoffs. You got a feeling now that the fans are really getting behind you guys?
I believe so. I mean, this was a Charlotte team. Not to knock them or anything, but it's not, you know, that upper class team. You know, this was against Charlotte, and it was packed. I mean, it was a great atmosphere, you know, and I think the crowd is buying into it, you know, which is the reason why we're playing so well.
Looking forward, you got Philadelphia coming up Monday night. Tell me, how do you all scout and game plan these such quick turnaround from game to game?
I mean, we just leaving in Coach Frank's hand. I mean, he prepares, he's doing a great job. The assistants, the video guys, I mean, they're just doing a great job on preparing us. And, you know, we're staying positive and focused as well. You know, so when it's film time and breaking down, you know, our opponents, you know, we're ready.
Good stuff there with Paul George, off to a great start this season. You talk about that Boston win on Friday night. 2 things really: to be able to go to Boston and get that win, to be able to bounce back from that Miami loss, really showed that this team has itself kind of a good attitude, a good little edge to it going into this first part of the season.
Well, the Boston win, let's be honest, it was an ugly win. The team only scored 14 points in the first quarter, but they found a way to respond. It's been a trend somewhat of the Pacers, of slow first quarter, slow half, but really coming on strong in the second half. And Brad, their key to doing so is their defense. You take a look at blocks, rebounds, and steals. The Pacers are amongst the top 10 in the NBA in those 3 categories.
Made a big focus on that this first part of the season. That'll pay off when the second half of the season even rolls around for this team. Heated exchange in that Charlotte game on Saturday night. George Hill and Gerald Henderson. You have some familiarity with Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, covered him for his entire college career.
From your time back on the East Coast there, George had to get himself held back by Coach Vogel afterwards, and had a few things to say about the whole thing.
Yeah, you take a look at the replay here, and he's getting flipped over by Gerald Henderson. Gerald has a way of making it seem so nonchalant, like I didn't mean to do it, but when you pick up a 6'2" guard and drop him on his neck, there's no nonchalant way about it. I had a chance to catch up with George Hill in the locker room, and let's just say he didn't mince words when he was talking about the altercation between he and Gerald Henderson.
We dove on the ball on the floor for a loose ball, and I accidentally, you know, ended up on top of him, and as I was trying to get up, he just, you know, lifted me up and undercut me. So that's how it is. We play basketball, you know, with a chip on our shoulder, you know, watching. We have Bird in our front office, and, you know, his Celtics-Laker days show the true definition of basketball.
You know, your teammate Tyler Hansbrough has a history with Gerald back in college. Took an elbow to his nose. Tyler tell you anything about some of his battles with him?
Pretty much, you know. Tyler told me before the game he's kind of a dirty player, but I didn't think somebody can stoop that low from being a professional. So it is what it is, and, you know, we got the best thing out of it, to win.
You know, it's pretty interesting that George Hill referenced the way that Larry Bird played back when Bird was with the Celtics. Of course, we all know those Eastern Conference battles between the Celtics and the Pistons, and there were a lot of fists being thrown, a lot of players been toppled over, so that was really rough and tumble basketball. And fans these days haven't seen it that much, but he did reference the fact that if you got Larry Bird in the front office, you can't be soft on the basketball court.
And I got to believe, if nothing else, Bird and Vogel and even the other guys on the bench there, they like to see these young guys in particular have a little push back here this first part of the season, because the East is going to be like that as the year goes on.
Well, this is a scrappy bunch, and you know what? You have to prove that you can scrap, whether you're driving hard to the basket or whether you're getting flipped on your head.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, busy week ahead coming up for the Pacers, as they're going to have another 4-game stretch here in the span of just 6 nights. They go to Philly on Monday, taking on the Sixers. Be back at Bankers Life Fieldhouse on Wednesday night to take on Atlanta. Friday night trip they'll make to Toronto, and then the Celtics coming to town on Saturday night. We're going to take a time out here on Sunday Sports Extra. When we come back, Hunter, the punter, is here. Hunter Smith joins us. He's going to be a big part of some of the festivities surrounding Super Bowl 46. We'll talk about that and more when Sports Extra rolls on.